Alright, this is going to be a quick tutorial on how I do my poster designs. Right here that you can see, this is a poster that I completed a few days ago for I Believe the series, and I'm just going to show you how I do my basic editing and poster design so far as the different layers and everything I use to get this sort of effect. And this is a picture I took a few days ago. We were shooting video in a graveyard, and this is one of the photographs I'm going to use for a new poster. And you can see that I have two layers here because I already started, well, actually finished the process of cutting him out of the scene. So it's different techniques you can use so far as getting items out of a scene, or excuse me, getting individual people out of a scene. The best technique that I like to use is the lasso tool, this tool right here. And just because I just tried everything, it's just easier for me. I'm sure everybody had their own method so far as getting a character or an object out of a scene in a photo. The way I do it, I like to start over the shoulder of the character by just like zooming in, and I just start at a random point like here. And then what I try to do is separate the different colors that I see that's going from the clothing to the skin. So all I do is just like go around here and cut, continue to cut. And I've been doing this for a long time, so this is pretty easy for me to do. Just use the mouse and just keep going around the character entirely until I completely have the person cut out of the scene. And that usually can run, it depends on how big the resolution is or what object I'm cutting out of. And it can take long as like 5 to like 10 minutes to cut them out, but once I'm have them all cut out and everything, which is just the final result, what I do next here is put the character inside. Well, actually what I'm going to do here is just change the canvas size to whatever poster size I'm going to use, and it's pretty much close to what I want to use. I want to get a 11 by 17 canvas. So I'm just going to press OK and save this. It's going to be smaller. Okay, that's right, that's good. So I have him in the canvas size that I want already. And I found, I do a lot of research so far as like going on like Google Images and finding what kind of images that I want to use so far as to get my image the look and feel that I want. So I already created this logo, so I think one of the first things I'm going to do is probably look at the different elements I have in this poster right here, which I have a lot of elements, a lot of different images here just to create this one scene. What I'm going to start with here, since I had already started this, is take all of these elements here. Let me see, and I'm just going to select them all. If you have a Mac, it's going to just be shift, hold down, and select all the images you want. I'm just going to drag it in this image here, and bam, it's in there. And I'm just going to drag it to where I want it, which is like bam, right here. And then of course I'm just going to put my top layer, which is him, back on here. You can see he really doesn't blend in with the screen because I didn't color correct him yet. I try to color correct my character or my object later because I don't know what kind of scene I want to put this in right now. Probably just going to move this over a little bit. I'm just going to move all these layers over a little bit because I want this church to be right there. But the most easiest way to do this, because I have this laid already, what I'm gonna do is just do a save as. I'm gonna just use this same layer. And I have my poster here. Let me put my character's name in it. Where's the character's name? I'm just gonna call it poster 2 for now. Just get this out the way. Alright, so it's saved, and all I gotta do now is just drag my character in. Let me go back on that. Let me do it again because I want him where the original character is. So I'm gonna click on the character, so it automatically takes it to the layer I have him in, which is here. So I'm just gonna put my other character right on top of it. Bam, he's in there. And actually this, I have all these layers locked here. So I'm just gonna unlock this. And I now have him. I'm just gonna size it up a little bit. He's a little bit taller than this guy here, but this is a good reference. What I need to do, let me try to line him up a little bit more. Just moving the keyboard, just moving him over a little bit. And then the character I have there, I'm going to use a different verse here. I'm going to now get him out of the scene. And bam, he's gone. I just move him over a tad bit. It should be over his shoulder. I have too much of that in his face though. This shine effect that I did here, which I can cover in another video how I did this. I found a tutorial online how to do that actually. And so I have the character here, and I'm just gonna pause this for a minute, this video, so I can change the verse. The verse is totally different from here. Alright, so the verse was sent to me over a text message, so I just emailed it to myself. And now I'm just gonna copy, and this is actually, I'm gonna cut this and put this here. I'm gonna use the same size. This is 19, so I want this to be 19 also. And put it in 19. And delete this. There we go. Alright, so I have the basics of what I want. Let me show you the different layers I have here. I have a lot of layers. I'm just gonna click all the way down. See all the layers I have here. Alright, so I'm just gonna work my way back down from back up, and this is just a basic layer. I have a color gradient over. It's really green. Sometimes what I do when I cut out the character, I put them on a green screen. Or that's something I'm gonna get into next, is green screening video. So it was easier for me to put a green screen and start to cut him out so I can know what I want to leave. And I wanted to leave some of this reflection here on him because that's just naturally how the image was. But I started with that, and then I found this layer here. I kind of liked how this here was had these like rip marks around it, so I kept that. But I didn't really use that. I used it, you see where I used it at. But this is like the church scene I used. I put a filter on this one. It's like a color burn filter, which I went through like all of them to see which one I liked. It just gave me a different feel. I really like the different feels that it gave me. And of course I have a gradient on here, and it's like at 66%. So This is what you see. But I put the, not the gradient, but the opacity down to like 66 because it was just perfect. But this is like one of the last things that I do so far is choosing like which filter effect I want on this. So I'm gonna leave it at the soft light right now. And what I have here, I love this effect. I see it in a lot of like poetry books and everything. What it is at 10% opacity. All what it is just writing, cursive writing. I just like copied and paste, copied and paste, copied and paste. And I believe it's at center. The paragraph is at the center. So, and I put the opacity down all the way down to 10. So you vaguely can't see it, but it's there. It just gives another different type of feel to it. I'm gonna put this up a little bit because it really depends on what kind of filter I have on an image on top of it, how well you see it. So, and next what I have here is this image here. I cut it. Let me go back. I just spliced it and put one down here. Sort of give like a real poster or a DVD cover feel to it. And I put another one on top just by reversing it. And I put the opacity down on this one to like 31%. And what else do I have here? Like nothing in those layers, nothing. I can delete those. I'm just gonna leave it from now. Actually, there's something here. You'll see later what this is for. This is just highlighting up a background of an image. And there's a color dodge on here. Let me see what it normally looks like. That's what normally it looks like if I didn't have the color dodge on there. I'm probably gonna change the different effects on this one. And next, there's a little cross in there, which is the logo is now appearing. And we have the different production companies on there. And the logo is coming in. And then there you go. I have different like effects on here. I can drop shadow and like a nice gold gradient on here. My favorite gradients are the golden gradients, which you can download a lot of them and just plug them in. I have tons of them I like to use. Tons of them. I like to like put brushes in here, add on brushes also. And I have a drop shadow on here. So just basic stuff. And just more text is coming in. And then I have the character which I need to color correct. And I have a shine on him. And all this is from like different brush effects, which I can open up and show you my different brush tools I have here. Let's see here. It's easier for me just to press the key, which is B for brushes. And I like to create my own brushes also. I spent yesterday spent like 10 minutes creating my own brushes, and I think I created like this brush effect here. Let me see if I can get the name of it. Yeah, it's called I Believe Golden. I made it specially for these poster designs, and this one is one of my favorite too. And all these brushes I got online also, which is pretty cool. Alright, so this little glare effect right here was made by this brush here. I sometimes create my own, but I think this one I downloaded is called SS Star. And I just clicked it and changed the color over to like white. And once you do that, I'm just going to show you real quick. It's going to make this brush a little bit larger. And I just like put them here. I'm just going to show up on this one. But I think it is. You just can't see it because it's so light. I got to make it like huge. Let me do step backwards on this and make this brush huge. Can't really see it because I have a filter effect on that one. Let me go back a little bit. I'll show you the different brushes and how to use them later on. Let's see here. And that's the effect that I have. You see it allows me to do it now. Yeah, there you go. Now you can see it. I had to put it in a different layer. I was trying to put it on top of the layer I had the guy in. Alright, so I have more stuff. This is a different effect. You probably can't see it, but they're like little dots. Then you put the mouse back on, they're like little dots. Just give more like a glare effect, but I didn't end up using it in the final poster. And it's another glare effect I have on his shoulder. And all this was created with different brushes. And just using white as the base color. And have more text going here, and basically you just saw me change the writing here. I'm just gonna make sure everything is like spelled correct. It's a little odd. Let me see here. Let me zoom out. Keep pressing the wrong key tools here. I don't need color, I need this to go back to normal. There we go. Alright, so now I am going to color correct my character. I like to get him where I can probably fully see. Let me get rid of this. I don't need that anymore. I like to get him where he's not all that pixelated but not too small. But I'm just gonna use this right here. This view is fine, 25% view. The first thing I do when I color correct is I use shadow and highlights. For some reason, I love this tool. How I started is I started playing around with all the different features here and found out which works best for me, but that shadow and highlights works really well. And I think the next thing I do is I go to color select, and then the first thing I do in color select is I want to play with the neutrals, or I want to play with the blacks. I probably play with the blacks first, and I start from near. Just move the black up a little bit to my liking, and I go to the neutrals and do the same thing with the black, and just start color correcting him that way until my liking. See that? Sometimes I'll play with these, but I really don't do too much with them. Just try to get that nice glare look going on. And if I find that he has too much red, the character has too much red in their face, I'll play around with these to get a nice realistic skin tone with not too much reds in it. But now just swivel these around in different ways, in different directions, right or left, until I get the color that I find works best with the character's skin tone. And let me see. And I think that's probably good right there. Alright, then I'm gonna go back to the neutral and play with that a little bit more. And then back to the blacks. And I'm even gonna go to the whites and see what happens. Not really too much going on. Not really too much going on. But I can see a difference with his face when I did the white from this one. It really just made this blotch looking feel. And when I put it all the way back at like a negative 100, I got more like a shine to his face, which I really like, which is good. And I have all of this going on too, so the sun was definitely coming in this direction when I shot this. It was like right above our heads. So the next thing I want to do with this, and just put like a little shadow behind him to create so much of like a feel that he's like almost like jumping out the picture. But I want to make it so obvious, so I'm just gonna play with these shadows here. And bam, there we go with that. In certain areas, I like to lighten up the face, lighten up the hands, darken some of the clothing, especially like right in here. You can see the imperfections that I did when I was cutting. And what I'll do from there is, it's this tool here. And actually, it's this tool right here. The burn tool. The burn tool and the dodge tool. The dodge tool lighten up the area. Just make this mouse a little bigger. Just come on his face and just lighten up those highlights so it pops out a little bit more, but not make it where it's too much. But I know that the sun was like coming in from here, so if I don't like, I just Command Z. I'll just do the Command Z to undo it. Now I'll just come in here, just add more effects to it that I see this is fitting, just to lighten up a little bit. And I'm just going to use more of the burn tool now to burn some of these edges. Just working at his feet, make it more blend into the background. And more blend in here. Alright, and sometimes I darken up his hair a little bit. But I don't like to do too much editing, especially when it comes to guys. You don't really want them to make them look too much, you're gonna have some natural type of things going on in their face. But I think this shine is a little bit too much in his face, so I'm just gonna edit it out a little bit, find a layer. I'm just gonna get some of this shine out of his face, and that looks a little better. And I'm gonna go and probably use this dodge tool and see if I can lighten this side up just a tad, which is nice. I like that a little bit, not too much. Not too much. Lighten up the hands a little bit. Let me see how it looks. So I'm just going to zoom out a little bit. See how it looks. And that looks good. It's all different layers. I probably want to change the background layer to a different image. I'm not sure yet. And one of the things I've told you what I do is put like just a basic layer over here so I can change how this looks. So I just want to go through some of these and see what kind of effects it gives me. And I love that one. So multiply, I'm going to keep that in mind. Just a little bit too much now. Darken color, see what happens. That is nice. Let me lighten the color. I even like that effect. I'm probably going to keep that for him. I'm not sure yet. Let's see what else I have. Screen. That's nice. Color dodge. That gives it an interesting feel also. Let's see here. I like that golden look. Yeah, all of them. I just hard time making my mind up because it's just so many options here. Like, I used to always be an Illustrator. Like, Illustrator is my favorite program, but until I got the hang of like Photoshop and the different filters and adding my own filters and effects and stuff. I really fell in love with Photoshop. That is really nice. I think I'm going to keep that one. Just go through all of them and make sure that I pick the best option for this. Alright, so I really like this one. And I really like this one. And I have a hard decision to make because it's out of these two. I do just keep going Command Z because they only take it back 2 steps. And I think I'm gonna go with this one. Alright, now so far as this poster is done, my only concern is I just want to zoom in a little bit and check on some of these cuts here. I like some of these cuts. I'm just gonna go back on his robe here, and I liked these imperfections here. I just want to get a closer cut on my character so far as down here by cutting him out, which I can't see what I'm doing because I have so many layers here. Let's get a close, nice cut. And delete, deselect. That's a little better. Let me zoom back out. And that looks good. And I think I am done. I think I am done. So I'm just gonna save this. And if you have any questions, I know I didn't cover a lot about the layers, but I definitely got a lot of this. I would say all of these backgrounds from just searching images and just superimposing them on top of each other and using a different like filter effects and to get this sort of look. But yeah, if you have any questions, definitely hit me up, let me know, and subscribe. Thank you.